Hello, from the only corner of my room that is clean enough to show on camera. Today, I'm going to be talking about a little bit of college advice. I just finished up my freshman year. I'm majoring in fashion design, but this is not going to be a fashion-focused video. If you want one of those, I'll make one. But today we're talking about college advice from a fashion student's perspective. So it might have a little spin on it. So first, this is a kind of obvious one. It cannot be stressed enough. Do your big assignments way ahead of schedule. And this is coming from a serial procrastinator. I love doing things last minute. Coming from me, do it early. In college, you'll most likely have really big assignments. I'm talking assignments that span from 1 week to a whole semester long. So these are gonna be projects that are gonna have multiple steps and they're gonna take a lot of time. So when a teacher says you can't do this the night before, they really mean it. This could be a research paper, a book report, a case study, a painting, a collection. It could be anything, but they're gonna take a lot of time and kind of require you to plan it out. So I will tell you how to do that and how to do it effectively, having done it many times. My first tip is don't panic. It can be really overwhelming at first. I understand that. It's a lot of work, but people have done it before, so you can do it. My first real tip is to gather all of the directions, the rubric, any information that the professor has given you that will help you kind of create the guidelines for the project. So my advice is that you either copy and paste this onto a document, write it out, even print it out so you can have it next to you or on your computer while you're working. So it's kind of like just a quick, you can go right back and forth and you don't have to open up your Canvas or your Blackboard to look at it again. It's like a really quick thing to do, but it will really help you in the long run. Next is you have to break up this project into bite-sized pieces, because if you just look at the whole thing, it's gonna be really overwhelming. For an example, say you're writing a paper, you're gonna wanna split this into multiple parts. First, you have the research. Then you have the outline, then your rough draft, then maybe a peer edit or a professor edit. And then you're gonna do your second draft and possibly your final draft, and then you're gonna submit it. So you're not gonna do that all in one day. So you need to write out the steps, like writing a paper, write out the steps for whatever project it is that you're doing. You're gonna write that out, and then you're gonna see how much time you have to do this project. If it's a week, maybe make every single step a day of the week. So on Monday, you're gonna research. On Tuesday, you're gonna outline. On Wednesday, you're gonna write the rough draft, etc. Maybe you have a month to do it. You're gonna place these out, and you will learn over time what works for you. But you're gonna space these out over time so you don't have to do it in one sitting. It also becomes more palatable because you're not sitting for 5 hours straight typing. Maybe you work on it for an hour a day or 15 minutes a day. It just makes it a lot easier to handle. Doing your assignments like this, even if you want to do small ones like this, it can really help in the long run. It can make your process faster, and it can even save time because nothing clouds your mind like panic. So it'll be just a smoother process and you'll be so much happier, I promise. My second bit of advice is to always do the extra credit. Now, I know in high school, my teachers told me, you're never gonna get extra credit in college. Like, the professors are so much harder on you and blah, blah, blah. That is not necessarily the case. At least at my school, almost every single professor gave multiple extra credit assignments during the semester. This could be doing extra work on assignment or participating in like a group project. It could be attending a seminar. It could be going to a club. It could be a lot of things, or it could just simply be, hey, watch this video and write a paper on it. So there are many things, and obviously gauge what you want to do, but if given an extra credit assignment that you know you were able to do it. I don't care if you have 100% in the class, there always is a chance to lower that grade. Many things can happen in the span of a semester. So my advice is always do the extra credit no matter what grade you have. And especially if you want to like just have kind of a stress-free semester in any class, having a little buffer is always helpful, because even when it comes to like the final, it's a huge chunk of your grade, maybe sometimes up to 50% of your grade. So if you forget to study for one section, it might be 3 questions on the exam, but it can really plummet your grade. So doing the extra credit kind of creates that like wiggle room that you need, and it might save you from a C or a B, and you can get an A in that class. My third tip is to get a good computer. Now, I know it's super trendy right now to use your iPad to take notes, and that's all well and good, but some majors, especially speaking from a fashion major, and I'm sure a lot of other design majors, require you to use software that isn't available on like tablets or iPads. You need like a higher processing power. You're gonna wanna get a pretty powerful computer. For design majors, I suggest one that has good graphics. But if you go to your university or college's website and go to your major, many of them will show you the requirements or what they suggest that you get for a computer for the major, so you're prepared before you even start. It also helps, like just basic level, whatever major you're in, writing papers. Personally, it's really much easier to have a bigger screen and you can like pull off tabs, and it just, in my opinion, is better than using a tablet. Now, for me, I have a Surface 3. It is a computer, but it can detach and become a tablet, and I really suggest this for fashion majors because there's a lot of drawing you're gonna have to do, and having something that can be both a computer and a tablet will just make your process much more seamless, and you'll learn this as you go. I just suggest having a computer, even if it's like a little Chromebook. It'll just make your life easier. You're already paying a lot of money, so you might as well just pay a little bit more to make your life easier in college. My fourth tip is don't do more work if it's not necessary. So it's kind of like work smarter, not harder. This is just a really good rule of thumb for anything, honestly. If you can do less work and it will result in the same grade or the same result as someone who does more work, don't do more work. Your time is money, quite literally, in college. So you want to do your best work, but don't go over if you don't have to. Now, there are a few exceptions for this. It really depends on the professor. So it might take you a while to grasp it. It might take like a semester or a couple weeks with one professor to kind of suss out what the professor wants. So a good example of when you would not want to do more work is, say you're in a huge lecture class, 200 kids in an auditorium, and it's a gen ed class. So it's you're a studio art major and you're taking a biology class, and the professor assigns, I don't know, a 5-page paper for you to write. They didn't say a 7-page paper, they said 5. The teacher doesn't have time to read 200 7-page papers. They're probably gonna have their TA do it anyways. The TA doesn't want to read that. They're not going to give you a higher grade if you write more. They're just going to breeze right over it and give you the same grade as someone who wrote 5 pages. Provided it's good work, of course. So in that case, just do what the professor says. Don't do any more, just do the bare minimum. Obviously, try your hardest, and you don't want to brush off these classes, but spend your time doing more meaningful things. For example, say you are a fashion major and you're taking apparel construction, and your teacher says when you finish this dress, add a flare to it. So that's a request that the teacher said. It's not necessarily in the rubric, but you want to show that you have skills and that you are maybe going above and beyond. So add that butterfly sleeve or add the scoop neck, whatever makes it you. But that is a class that you'll probably have the professor again. It's a class that is building skills in your major, and it's just a class that you want to experiment more in because it's your major. So that's an example of when you would want to spend more time on it because it will benefit you in the long run, as opposed to taking a general education class that you're not really going to use in the future. It's just meeting requirements, you're not going to want to do more work for that class when you could do more work for a class that's going to actually help you in your career. Does that make sense? Speed round. So these are things that don't really require an explanation, but they're really, really helpful. So pay attention. So wear comfortable shoes. So I'm a fashion major. I get it. You have those really cute boots, those really cute heels, those Doc Martens you haven't broken in yet. Don't wear them unless you're like walking to your dining hall or walking to the laundry room, because you're gonna be walking, I don't know, maybe a mile a day, if not more, and you're gonna get blisters so bad. So I suggest, you know, get a cute pair of loafers or like Air Force Ones, or maybe you have Doc Martens you've broken in for a year and they're super comfortable. Wear the shoes you know aren't gonna cause you pain, and also make sure they're weather appropriate. Like, I know there have been a ton of freak snowstorms, so don't take all of your winter boots home over Christmas break. Please leave like one pair of boots at school, because I'm telling you, it is miserable to have wet socks and you're sitting in a lecture for like God knows how long. Just bring weather appropriate shoes and also wear comfortable shoes. That was a kind of long explanation actually. Take advantage of all your opportunities. You're paying for college. If there's an opportunity that you're paying for, use it. There is literally, the college is there for you. That's the whole point. You are paying them. So take every opportunity that is given to you if you want it. Also, don't overpack. I did this last year. Just be strict with yourself. Am I going to use this on a daily basis? And say you forget your watercolor kit and you're like, man, I really wish I had this. Not ideal, but you could buy another one, or you could have your parents ship it to you, or when you go home for break, you can bring it back with you. I brought coloring books to school because I was like, oh, when I'm stressed, I'm gonna wanna do this. Not once did I use them, not once. And they were just extra weight in my bag. So just be strict with yourself. That's all I just say. Be ruthless when you're packing your clothes. Not a lot of space, not a lot of storage in tiny little dorm rooms. You don't want to pack more than you need. So I would say pack for the season and only bring a couple things that would be good for the other season. So say summer, bring all your summer clothes, well, most of your summer clothes, and bring like 2 pairs of pants and a couple sweatshirts in case it gets cold. Then bring all your summer clothes back over break, leave a little bit in case there's a really warm day, and then bring all your winter clothes after, say, Thanksgiving break. So yeah, that's my advice. Do it in shifts if you can, but don't overpack because it will make your life harder. Don't buy textbooks until the professor literally speaks to you and says, you need the textbook. Because I experienced people telling me this, and I was like, but I don't want to get in trouble, because you know, in high school, you don't have your computer, you don't have a textbook, whatever, you get in trouble. In college, I mean, I don't want to be responsible for you getting in trouble, but realistically, they understand that these things take a long time to ship. So say they're like, okay, you need this by Monday, and you have it shipped, and you don't have it by Monday, just borrow someone else's, or don't tell the professor you don't have it until you do have it. So yeah, just don't buy the textbook, because in a lot of my classes, like, they list a textbook, but when you get into class, they're like, actually, this is not the textbook you want. You want to get this one instead. So you just wasted $80 to $200 on something you don't need. You could return it, but you're not going to get the same money back. And if you rented it, again, wasted money. So I just suggest waiting. Just wait. I know it's exciting to get all your textbooks and whatever, but I promise you, you will save money in the long run. I literally have like 5 textbooks I've not even opened because I did not listen to people's advice. So listen. Put your key card in something that you use every day. So for me, I had a lanyard, and I just like, it was one of those stretching lanyards, so I just could like open my door. But you put it in like your phone or like your wallet, something you bring with you everywhere, because if you forget it, it will be very difficult to get into your dorm, to get food, whatever your key card does for you. And also getting a replacement might take a while. So I just suggest like have it with you at all times, but put it in something you're not going to forget, like a phone or a wallet or whatever. Last advice about food. Even if you have a dining hall pass, keep food in your dorm. I know we all like to snack, and when it's late at night and you're studying or whatever and the dining hall is not open, you're gonna want some food. Bring crackers or apple slices, peanut butter, whatever you like. Just bring that with you, because it's gonna make you happier. And also, I mean, say one night you don't really want to go to the dining hall, so just make oatmeal in your dorm. Like, it's so much nicer to just have a little bit of food in your dorm. And that's all I have to say about that. Okay, that was not really a speed round. That was really in depth. I like to talk. But that is all. So if you have any questions, just ask. I mean, I'm gonna be a sophomore next year, so I don't have like the most experience, but from my first year, these are the things that I learned.